Welcome to 75 Stories, a podcast created to commemorate the 75th anniversary of Normandale Lutheran Church in Edina, Minnesota.
My family came to Normandale when I was in 7th grade. We previously attended Richfield Lutheran Church, but lived in Edina, and my parents wanted me to be connected to a faith community confirmation class in the city that we lived in. And I think it was smart of them to do that, but also I think they were led by the Holy Spirit, because in that 7th grade confirmation class, I met two of my very best friends to this day. And one of the friends is in Wednesday Women's Bible Study small group with me. So Normandale has been a super special place for me and my family. After I graduated from St. Olaf, my husband and I would be convinced to come to church because my parents would buy us brunch afterwards. So we continued to come together in our 20s. And then when we had kids in our 30s, we came with our kids. Our kids attended the Blessing Place and Normandale Preschool and Sunday School. And Normandale has just truly been a part of my life since I was in 7th grade. The programs that I oversee at Normandale include Lift Group Ministries, which is small groups that meet in people's homes or wherever they choose to meet. I also have groups that are focused on prayer, and a group that's interested in caring for the creation, a group of people called networkers who try to connect with others on Sundays and whenever there's a church event. And then I guess also Wednesday Women's Bible Study has been something that I have helped oversee. So the programs that I oversee are important to the community because they connect people to each other, and they provide a place for people to be heard, and provide a place for people to be reminded of who they are, who God calls them to be, who God is, and they provide a place for people to pray for one another. Small group ministry programs at Normandale help us build community by providing a place for people to practice loving one another. As Jesus said, are the two biggest commands that he gave, and all of the law could be summed up through loving God and loving one another as ourselves. And small groups provide a place for you to practice loving one another well. Small groups also help us out to live out our faith in action. We live out our faith in action by praying for one another, by listening to one another, by breaking bread with one another. Small groups can also go out and serve practically in the community. For example, small groups might decide to go over to the Normandale house and serve them through working on the house together or meals together. Groups might decide to come together and collect clothing donations and food donations, as some have done in Wednesday Women's Bible Study. But really, growing in faith together and becoming built up together are just better equipped to go out into the world and share the love of God with everyone they encounter. If people were hesitant to join a small group, I would tell them that there's literally no way they'd ever regret it. You're going to learn something about yourself or other people or God, and the benefits of being in a small group are actually just physiological. There are books written about the importance of small groups for people's emotional well-being and for their vitality. And one of those books is Blue Zones, which the author of Blue Zones is going to be speaking at the 25th anniversary for Healing and Wholeness this September. But beyond just being physiological, almost every church leader I've ever talked to has said that small groups are key to the health and strength of a church's congregation. And small groups just have the ability to help us not only practice loving one another well, praying for one another, serving our community at large, but they just help us grow, and growing in faith is one of the greatest gifts that God gives us. There's so many ways to be connected at Normandale, and in some small groups like Lift small groups or Wednesday Women's Bible Study, among other ones. There's a lot of opportunity for you to connect with others and grow in faith and then go out in the world and share that love of God with others. Small groups are made up of people with many different backgrounds and ideas and experiences, and not only can you learn from those differences, but your own unique gifts and talents and experiences can help shape someone else's ideas and their faith. And the combination of what you're offering to the small group and what others are offering to the small group helps us as a community just to grow together and be stronger together.
We are so glad you joined us today here at 75 Stories. If you'd like to share your own story, please contact Christy Shepard at kshepard@normluth.org. Join us next week for another story, and share this podcast with your friends and family. We are all part of the Normandale community.